Hey there, it's Krishna Perkins, and today I want to answer a question that keeps coming up, this year, and the question is, um, when will housing prices come down? I'm hearing that over and over again every time I meet a buyer, and we get started in a process, or I meet a buyer that has been fed up with the process. Um, to start answering that question, I want to share with you some information and some quotes that will help you understand and maybe come to your own opinion. I'll give you my opinion as we go along, but we need to look at some data. So the first thing we want to look at is where we have been, and we're going to look here at San Antonio. And I'm going to put this slide up for you. As you can see, San Antonio has been pretty steady since 2016 on this slide. As you can see, that the inventory curve here that we're looking at shows that we had about 3 months worth of inventory pretty consistently from 2016 all the way up towards the beginning of the pandemic. Now, what does that mean? Typically, in a balanced market, okay, where there's a balance, it's 5 to 6 months worth of inventory. So we were already in, a pretty strong seller's market at that point. We already had multiple offer situations happening, not at the scale that we have now, but we still had multiple offer situations for the very best properties in the very best condition. So that is something that was already happening. We can look even further at some statistics in another video, but you'll see here in the San Antonio market, the percentage of closed sales also has risen significantly. So instead of 90% of the homes or 80% of the homes coming to market or closing rather out of those homes that did come to market, we're at just about at 100% of the homes that come to market get sold in this time. So there's a lot of strength in the market in different areas. I did not have that slide prepared for you, but we'll go ahead to the next slide and we'll look at some other statistics here. Seller traffic, we're going to look at that one first. Seller traffic nationwide is pretty weak. Okay, it's weak. It's not very weak. Some states it's very weak, but most states it is weak. There's a couple stable markets and one strong market out in West Virginia where there's a good amount of seller traffic. Historic seller traffic, also in Hawaii, strong seller traffic. But then, and this is from the National Association of Realtors. If we come back and we contrast that slide with buyer traffic, and it is just overwhelmingly busy, very strong sellers traffic throughout the nation. You can see here another slide from National Association of Realtors. Strong seller traffic and really the balance of the states, only a handful there with strong buyer traffic, but none of the states reporting in as weak or very weak at all. So very, very strong still. This is based in June. And then a few quotes we want to look at here to give you a sense of where the industry leaders are coming in at this time in June. This is a quote from National Association of Realtors. In this Wild West environment, buyers are doing anything they can to stand out, and more all cash offers do just that, and can mean the difference between getting that dream home or winding up empty-handed again. Realtor.com. That's just the name of the game right now. And there are some things that can be done. We'll go over some tactics later in another video, but this is kind of the new normal right now. Here again, we have some information from National Association of Realtors here. This is the month's worth of inventory of homes over the last 12 months. You see here, and this is nationwide. The earlier slide was local for San Antonio. This one's nationwide from May last year. Yeah, that's 4.6. So even nationally, we were just under that threshold of a balanced market. 4.6 months worth of inventory, and that's how long it would take to sell all the inventory off. If no new homes came into the market, then it dropped down to 3.9, and that's right in June. That's usually pretty heavy listing season. July 3.1, August 3, September 2.7. It just keeps dropping from there. We hit December, January. It's a ridiculous low of 1.9. It doesn't get much better. We did gain some inventory, but inventory is just at a premium right now. So that's what we're working with all these strong buying tendencies in the market. On to a quote here from Bill McBride at Calculated Risk. And we quote here: if inventory increases slowly, house prices will continue to rise rapidly. And if inventory increases sharply, house price growth will slow. So everyone looking for help in the prices coming down, thinking, okay, there's going to be a wave of foreclosures when the moratoriums wear off. Right here, this could be a clue here. So if we have a rapid increase, is it really going to help? Not really. It looks like his assessment here is that the prices are going to continue to go up slowly, but they're going to continue to go up. And let's go on to another one. Okay, here's one from Goldman Sachs, research note on housing. And we quote here: strong demand for housing looks sustainable. Even before the pandemic, demographic tailwinds and historically low mortgage rates had pushed demand to high levels. Consumer surveys indicate that household buying intentions are now the highest in 20 years. As a result, the model projects double-digit price gains both this year and next. That is a pretty strong statement there. They're not calling for any pullback. They say it's solid. It's not like the housing crash, or sorry, the mortgage meltdown in 2007, 2008. We're on pretty solid ground. This is very different than speaking from living in San Antonio. We had a huge pandemic, and what happened? Everything sped up for us, and we got way more people a lot more quickly. We were shut down just like everybody else, and we got so many people moved in. Next slide. And this is from Morgan Stanley, Thoughts on the Market podcast. Unlike 15 years ago, the euphoria in today's home prices comes down to the simple logic of supply and demand. And we at Morgan Stanley conclude that this time the sector is on sustainably sturdy foundation. This robust demand and highly challenged supply, along with the tight mortgage lending standards, may continue to bode well for home prices. Higher interest rates and post-pandemic moves could likely slow the pace of appreciation, but the upward trajectory remains very much on course. And then last slide here, last quote. This is from Mike Lofton, and this is really just a piece of encouragement, if anything, to consider all possibilities in continuing the pursuit of home ownership. But we need to stop seeing housing as a reward for financial success and instead see it as a critical tool that can facilitate financial success. Affordable home ownership is not the capstone of economic well-being, it is the cornerstone. So basically what he's saying is if you have the qualifications to own a home, and you keep telling yourself to wait because you're not financially ready, it's to make sure that you're hashing things out, make sure that you're not holding back, because it is still gonna get more expensive to get into the market the longer you wait. Obviously, you don't want to get in over your head, and buying something is actually going to be better than buying nothing, because and we can get into a long discussion about that, the pros and cons. But he's really saying here is that owning a home is a tool, and because once you add in the advantages of refinancing later after you've bought your home and reducing your payment, whereas the rental continues to climb up. The rent prices continue to climb up. Okay, right now, even renting a home is very difficult. It's very expensive, and it's continue to get more expensive as time goes on. Supply and demand in that category as well. But you can't refinance your rental. You can go get another one, but it's probably going to be smaller. It may not be as nicely kept as the last one you had. But as far as a home is concerned, and in this environment where we're having appreciation, and we continue, every time we have a crisis, we pump more money out there into the economy. Of course, that can have something to do with the prices out there that you see, but more so right now is the supply and demand issue that's pushing prices up. So people that have refinanced and they're saving several $100s on their mortgage now, they can put that money elsewhere. Hopefully they're not just blowing it on vacations and whatnot. I mean, you can do that, but if you have a financial planner that you're working with, you can take that money and you can grow that money and make it work for you. So that's really what Mike is saying, that having a home is not just about living in the home, but using it to your advantage in other areas. So bottom line, I mean, housing does not appear as if it's going to be letting up significantly or going down in value. If that's what you're waiting for. Obviously, not everyone, you don't have to agree with me. This is just opinions of people that are a lot smarter than me. But a lot of them are singing the same tune, that it is going to continue to be a seller's market for the foreseeable future. So plan accordingly, get in touch with the realtor that you trust. If it's not me, great. Find somebody that you can work with that's willing to sit down with you and put together a comprehensive plan. The thing that I have found that works best is to look into the recent past at homes that have sold in your price range that you would want to live in, and see what that looks like. What did those buyers do in order to get into that home? That information is right there in black and white in the multiple listing system, and just going out and haphazardly throwing offers in is not gonna work. You got to sit down. You got to push a pencil around with your agent and figure out what are your chances. How many homes on average are coming onto the market in your price range? Okay, how many of those homes are getting multiple offers? How many of those homes are paying any closing costs for the buyer? There's a lot of research that can be done without driving around and beating down the doors. I mean, you can do that later, but getting the information up front is going to save you a lot of time, a lot of headache. So hopefully that helps answer your questions about the prices coming down, or rather lack thereof, prices coming down. And I'll see you in the next video.